Ryan and Chris Sullivan. Every cut has its consequences, and the pandemic expansion for SNAP benefits, the federal food program, ended in March, which means some senior centers are feeling the effects. They are seeing a higher demand for Meals on Wheels. And Leah Hammond is the nutrition director of Homage Senior Services in Linwood, and they need help. So describe, Leah, what your situation is right now.
Yeah, since the pandemic began in 2020, we've only seen the need for these critical nutrition services, meals, particularly for our older adults and our vulnerable individuals living with disabilities. We've seen that grow significantly. At the same time, we know that there's rising fuel costs, inflation, increasing meal costs. So it's really challenging for folks to be able to sustain themselves.
Right. And I imagine COVID just made it worse, as you said. How many people do you serve locally, and how many did that grow by over the course of the pandemic?
That's difficult to articulate in numbers. We serve, between our community table dining program and our Meals on Wheels program, we serve approximately 4,000 individuals annually. Pre-pandemic, that was probably closer to 3,500.
Wow.
What we've really seen is the number of meals that we're serving has increased quite a bit, I believe by 47% since 2019. Last year, we served 429,000 meals across both meal programs.
That's incredible. So what is it that you need? It sounds like a significant chunk of money is being cut because the emergency funds are drying up. How do you make up for that?
That's correct. The Medicaid funding for our individuals who are receiving Meals on Wheels through Medicaid waivers, that funding is being cut by 20% as of July 1st. That means that the amount that we're being reimbursed for those meals does not cover our actual meal costs. We're anticipating that between July 1st and the end of Q1 2024, we will have a $50,000 deficit that we need to make up. And we need the support of the community to be able to cover that deficit so that we can continue to provide services to these individuals on the Medicaid waiver who happen to be some of our most vulnerable folks.
Now, is this just affecting your operation, or are other senior centers in the same predicament?
This is a statewide cut. So our sister programs across the state are facing the same deficit. A lot of the senior nutrition programs are concerned that with this funding cut, we will not be able to sustain these services at this meal cost.
I've gone out on a delivery service with one of my friends. It was years ago. She was doing and it's a big touch point for so many of those individuals. It's not just a meal, but a chance to talk with another person. Are you asking, do we need volunteers? Do we need monetary donations? Do you need non-perishable food donations? I suppose what I'm asking is, how can people help if they feel moved by this?
Certainly, monetary contributions help us be able to sustain services. We're always looking for volunteers. We have about 30 volunteers with our Meals on Wheels program consistently. Also, advocacy at the state and federal level is really important for us to reach out to our representatives and let them know that our community needs to help us advocate at the federal and state level to our representative, our older neighbors.
I'm just trying to figure out why we're in this emergency. And is this the normal way that Meals on Wheels has to be financed? Are we really in a situation where we have to basically beg people to support some of our poorest seniors? That seems ridiculous.
Unfortunately, the federal funding has been stagnant for years in terms of the growing need, the rising need. Federal funding is not keeping pace to continue to support the growing need. So senior nutrition programs like ours are constantly trying to pivot and find new sources of revenue to help maintain these programs.
So what's your deadline then? By when do you need this money?
We are hoping to raise this money by September 1st so that we don't have to front the costs However, we're committed to continue to support this program through Q1 of 2024. We do not want these individuals to lose these services.
Leah Hammond is the nutrition director of Homage Senior Services in Linwood. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.